Hey everybody, it's 1:30 in the afternoon on August 10th. We are going to do our Christmas in July crafting. Let me get rid of this guy. That guy's on a little break until Thursday. All right, so where we left off was we had done the spine, and then we redid the spine, and then we did the bags and the inserts for the bags for 1 through 8, correct? 1 through 8. So my goal today is to do 9, 11, 13, 15. 9, 11, 13, 15. And then the next time we come back, we'll do the 10, 12, 14, 16, and then we'll just keep going like that until we're finished. And I don't think it'll take us very long. So just to quickly flip through though, it's looking so cute already. We've got great little tags in the bags, and each of these inserts can hold 4 4x6 photos if you want them to. So you've got plenty of room. You can also put receipts in the bags, tickets in the bags. We also made these little pockets, which are great for receipts and tickets. And we're going to just follow this format through the book until the end. And let's see if today I can perhaps make no mistakes. Let's set that as our goal. All right, so we need 2 more bags. And we need 2 more pockets. And I do still have 2, so there we go. And then we'll need to make some more inserts. So let me just make the inserts. I gotta get my thing out that tells me what all my measurements are. What are my measurements? Because I can't remember. Inserts are 7 1/4 by 4 1/4 and 9 1/2 by 4 1/4. Okay. So the 7 1/4 by 4 1/4 can get done with the 5 by 7 pinwheel technique. So I'm going to do 4 1/2 by 7 1/2 and then cut them down. So I put my corner at 4 1/2 and I cut up to 4 1/2. And it's going to make me 4 1/2 by 7 1/2 cards. So yeah, so I want to do, like I said, so I might get that tag thing, and then we'll do another is Kathryn faster than the tool. So once I've got the tool all figured out, we can find out if I'm faster than the tool. Now 9 1/2 by 4 1/4 add up to more than 12. So those we have to cut from on a separate piece of paper. But we can use the scraps from these to make 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 cards for the cards that go on the feet of the bags, so that we're not wasting a bunch of cardstock. Yes, if you are doing 7 1/4 by 5 1/4, for Jill says when she does 7 1/4 by 5 1/4, she uses 8 1/2 by 11 cardstock because you can get 3 with almost no waste. Yes, absolutely. Or you can get 2. Can you get 2? Can you get 3? No, you can get 2. You can get 2. Yeah, but you're using most of the sheet. You're using almost all of the sheet in that case. All right, so we've got 4 3 1/4 mats, 2 9 1/2 by 4 1/4 insert pieces, and 4 7 1/2. So I need to cut the 7 1/2 by 4 1/4 down, and I need to cut more 9 1/2 by 4 1/4. So if you are just joining us for the first time today, then welcome. Normally I broadcast on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern USA time and 9 p.m. Eastern USA time. And we have a lot of fun. We just started a new project, which is the Split Decision album using the Paper Phenomenon Photobomb papers. Don't forget to smash like, Glitter Goddesses. Thank you, Jill. Yes, if you like the show, we always appreciate the support we get from hitting the like button, sprinkling the like button with your glitter. Okay, so much cutting, but this way we're gonna, I shouldn't have to stop and cut at any other point. So Candy said, if you want to be really thrifty, you should have 8 1/2 by 11 and 12 by 12 on hand, and then do the math before every cut. That's true. Have I created a monster with the 5 by 7 pinwheel? What have I done? What have I done? So yeah, cutting cardstock's not very exciting. I have thought about getting a trimmer cam so that I would have a camera I could switch to when I was going to cut things, but then it would literally just be me cutting things. So I don't know how much more exciting that would be for you guys, unless you've always just been dying of curiosity as to how I cut things with my main trimmer. Okie dokie. All right, so I need 4 of each of these. So I need 4 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 4 of the 4 1/4 by 9 1/2. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's not right. 2 of them are tiny. Good job. I'm going to cut the 2 tiny ones down to 7 1/4 so I can use them later. Put them with the pile. I'm going to cut 2 more 9 1/2 by 4 1/4. Pay attention, Kathryn. All right, now we've got everything, I think. You may have too much paper. Okay, so let's build the inserts so they're ready to go. So the 7 1/4 by 4 1/4 gets scored along the 7 1/4 inch side at 6 1/4. So Candy is saying that she may have too much paper, but she never has a blue or green that she needs. Blue in particular, I find is one of the hardest colors to match because there are so many. You know, there's purple blues, there's green blues, there's blue blues, you know. And then the this guy right here, we're gonna score at, this is the 9 1/2 inch one. You're gonna score at 3 1/4. Yeah, there's a lot. Blue is a really tricky one to match. And also because if you try to use a blue with a green blue, then the green blue will start to look green and they do weird things to each other. Okay. So let's tape everybody together. So this one, the 9 1/2 inch one, just fold along the score line and burnish. And the 7 1/4 inch one, fold along the score line and burnish. So we did really well on Thursday night, guys. We got a lot accomplished, I felt, because we got the whole Split Decision album planned out like to the T, covered all of our bases, And still, after doing that, also got, I'm going to put a line of tape on the edge of this so that when this is closed, you don't see the tape. And on top of getting it totally planned out, we got mini page A constructed with an alteration, and we got it covered in pattern paper. So what we're going to do with this split decision is we're going to add the pattern paper as we go, I think, but we're not going to fully decorate, and we're not going to do inserts. So we're going to get it constructed, adding pattern paper as we go. Then we'll circle back to the boy album, finish getting that one constructed, etc. Get that one finished. And then we'll decorate the split decision, put the cover on, and be done with that one. That will give you guys time. Now with this one, on the back, put a line of tape along the edge. Yeah, I think she really likes it. One of the things that she and I talked about, because I did this with Flight, which was that I have not been doing black or craft bases, because she really, you know, she likes black, she likes craft. That's her comfort area. And I like black and I like craft too, and I know I've said a number of times you only need 5 cardstock colors: white, off-white, black, craft, dark brown. And you do only need 5 cardstock colors, and it's those 5 I just told you. But I did a red base with Flight, and you know, it changed the paper so much. She really liked that, and that I joked I would, for any paper she sent me, I would pick some random color and use it. And so I'm trying to start a trend of colored bases. That's my goal. By 2020, I want people using colored bases that aren't white, black, off-white, craft, dark brown. So I'm gonna try and make it happen, guys. I'm gonna try and make it happen. So I use the military green for Flutter and Bloom. That's the one that she saw last night. And we're using navy for Photobomb. For the school album that I have coming up, I am going to use a black base, because what are you going to do? I mean, chalkboard. I think school album's got to have a black base. But I am going to try and mix it up. For the cruise album, I'm going to use navy. Jill says that since everything she does is for her grandkids, she always uses colors. Yeah, I think kids probably are going to like colors more than black and craft. Not everyone's, you know, crafting for kids. And if you like black and craft, again, you should do what you want, and you don't have to care what I think. Don't let anyone tell you that, you know, a preference that you have for a color or something like that is wrong. All right. So when I stick these together, what I'm doing is I'm putting the larger one with the flap down on my desk, and then I'm sliding the smaller one along it until the edge of the smaller one bumps into the score line on the larger one, and then I fold the flap of the smaller one over to the back. So what I don't want, the reason I do it that way is because I don't want this edge to bump up against the score line at all. Because if it won't fold flat like this if you don't leave a little sliver of breathing room for that score line. So that's why I only bring it down to the score line. I don't bring it all the way down. So All right. So we've got our 4 inserts ready to go. We've got our we've got our 4 card mats ready to go. We've got our 2 pockets ready to go. We've got our pocket template. So we've got our nice little stack. We're now ready to start tossing pattern paper on all of these things. So, good job, team. Look at how far we have come. So we are going to pull out our cards, and then from here we're going to pull out our pattern papers that we've chosen, that we've already cut to fit our bags. So we need 4 of these pattern papers to fit our bags. 1, 2, 3. Let's go with 4. All right, so we only have 1 left. So next class we'll have to start by cutting some of these. Okay. So I was just curious if if I could break this up into 2 rows of 4, and I can't really. I'd have to do like 3 threes, and I don't think 3 threes are going to fit, so I can't really use the Christmas. We could cut the piece off and turn it into a banner and use the piece. And later on in the album, we could do the same with the joy. So that's a possibility. Most wonderful time of the year is, I think we're probably going to have to work onto the back somehow. Merry and Bright is too big. This is a little too big, so is this. It's digital printed smaller. Oh my gosh, Candy. You're a genius. Okay, guys. Jill's like, no more digital printing. Don't talk about it. Okay, so this is 5 3/4 by 4.5. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm going to switch it to my display capture while I do this so you can kind of get an idea. Interesting. Oh, no, there it is. Okay, so this is Photoshop Elements 15. So the first thing I do is I'm opening a new document, and for size, I'm going to do it in inches, and I'm going to do 5 3/4, so 5.75. And then height is 4.5, so 4.5. And then resolution is, you want between 300 and 600 for printing. I'm going to do 300. Okay, so now this is the same size as my page. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this is probably an element, right? Yeah. It's one of these, right? I don't see it though. I wonder if it's like part of a sheet or something. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Yeah, it's part of a sheet. Okay. Okay, so now I have this. So I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees right. So their intention was that it would be all these three things together, and I cut these apart a little bit differently. And then I'm going to resize the image. So I go to image, resize, image size. And now I'm saying I want the width to be 5 3/4, 5.75. So what's going to happen is I can now drag this onto the first one and let it go. And it's going to be the right size. So now the question is, what? So this is now the size that I want it to be. So I'm going to close this, and apps do not save changes. Say no, because you don't want to save it all tiny like that. So now I need to make a new blank file that's 13 by 19 because that's the size of my paper. Say okay. And normally what I would do is I would fill this whole page with a bunch of stuff. But in this case, I'm just gonna move my little guy. I'm just gonna put it in the corner and close this. No. And then I'm gonna save this in my digital paper folder, and I'm gonna say that it's well, no, that's not what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cancel out of that. What I'll do is I'll save this piece of paper. I'll cut like 3 inches off of it, and that way I won't have to worry about it. File, print, ET 16500, premium presentation paper matte, rear paper feed slot, size is super B. Change print quality, because I have to go in here and I have to go into color correction and turn off color correction, because the printer cannot be allowed to do color correction because it's bad at it, I have found. Okay, so now we're going to print actual size, center the image, and I go to more options and make sure color is still being managed. So this is color management. It's still being managed by Photoshop using the Epson printer profile. And I have found that the rendering intent of relative colorimetric works best. And that lines up with what people say online. That's the most common one. And so then I just say print. And that, now I got to go wake up the printer. I'm going to use the koala paper because that's what I use to print the rest of the collection. The paper collection is Simple Stories Handmade Holiday. Yes, that's correct. All right, there it is. Christmas. Yay! Easy peasy. Easy peasy. So it's not too I'm just closing up the printer because the cats like to, if I leave the printer open, the cats like to jump on the paper feed trays to get on top of my bookshelf. and I just don't trust them not to break it. So I gotta always keep it closed. Gotta remember to always keep it closed. All right. So I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut 3 inches off the bottom so that it's 13 by 16. And then I'm gonna write on the back of the paper and lightly in pencil that this is now 13 by 16. So I'll still be able to get a good amount of stuff on it one day when I want to fill it up with papers. And I'll put it back in the box with the paper, but I won't put it in the plastic sleeve that protects the paper, so that I know, because it's just sitting on top, that there's something like different or weird about it. Okay. All right, so we've got Christmas now. So peace I'm going to turn into a flag. And then I have an idea for these guys right here. And so what I'm going to do is hello to everyone who just came in while I was messing around with the printer. Where's my ruler? Here it is. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut to about 1/8 of an inch in from the ornaments. And then I'm gonna take off this little strip at the top. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get my glass mat out, and I'm gonna cut around the ornaments to give them a little border, you know, just a little white border, just so they have something separating them from whatever pattern paper I put them on. Okay, and then I have this, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, that later on we can cut that up and put that on something else. And then we can stick these ornaments, you know, going across the top of one of these pages like this. And because they have a little bit of white all the way around them, they'll still pop. So just going to cut around and around. And that's going to make these guys look like a really sharp die cut. Doop doop doo 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 doo. Yes, looking cute. Doing it. So guys, I want to talk to you about Christmas crafting. When do you guys do your Christmas crafting? Like, do you like to craft holiday projects during the holidays? So in Christmas 2019, you'll be crafting Christmas 2018 books? Or do you like to do Christmas memory keeping after the holidays? Or do you not use Christmas paper necessarily for Christmas books? We are making a paper bag album with a pocket for each day of December, so you can use it as a December daily. So we're making our 2019 December daily. So we're really ahead. We're super ahead of schedule. Okay, so you do your Christmas pictures after the holidays. But you start in July for like cards and gifts and things. Okay. Because I'm always torn when to do Christmas projects. Because I feel like, you know, we're not all like crafting like in the middle of December. You know what I mean? Okay. So what I'm thinking with this guy is that we put it like right here. And then we put maybe burlap or something behind the little cutouts. Because I think they might look cuter on some burlap. Yeah, we'll have them bounce off some burlap. All right. Okay, we are making really good. That's true, Ella. Sometimes if you don't have like people coming to visit or kids or living with you, then sometimes it's like, what do I do? What do I do with myself? I'm just not that interesting. But what I do is like, you know, if I don't have anything that day, I'll do like a picture of an ornament maybe and tell the story of how we got it, or write about a favorite Christmas movie, you know, and just get pictures from the internet. So I fill in that way. All right, so this thing is basically it's 2 inches. So I'm gonna cut a 2-inch strip of the paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put tape on the strip itself. So I don't have to worry about trying to put glue on it. That way I can just put glue on the little ornaments. Yes, I did use actual paper bags. I did. But if you want to make your own bags, I also have a tutorial in my video archives for making designer paper bags. But these are just the Michaels party bags that we all have been enjoying for years for making books. They still sell those, right? We need a glitter button. Oh. Yesterday my neck was hurting, so I didn't really do much with myself. But I did watch a lot of How to Cake It for some reason. You missed the wine. We should do... We had vodka on Thursday. We were really having fun on Thursday night. We've done adult juice boxes. We've done all kinds of stuff. All right. So now we've got this guy that we can stick right here and transform this page a little bit. So cute, you guys. So cute. Can't stand it. It was tonic that was fake. Yes, it was a fake tonic. It was not. It technically didn't have iodine in it, or quinine, whatever is the. There's something in tonic water that's medicine. That's how it got its name. Quinine. I think it's. It was closer to seltzer than it was tonic. I think it's quinine, guys. I think it's quinine. They drank it. They drank it to not get malaria, maybe. Not get yellow fever. Some tropical disease. British people drank water with quinine or iodine, or I think it's quinine. And that's, yeah, exactly. We can't have the British dying of malaria before they can steal land from everyone. Can't have that. But yeah, so I found this soda. called Spindrift, which is made out, it's just carbonated water and lime soda. That's it. And lime juice. Those are the 2 ingredients. It's got like 5 calories. And I found that if you pour vodka in it, it gives you a quick little vodka tonic vibe, you know, but without all the hassle. So you just get your Yeti, some ice, and pour the soda and the vodka in there, and now you have a quick cocktail. Thank you, Candy. See you later. It's called Spindrift. All right, so all right, we got this one. So that one's done. That's ready to go in the book once we put its number on it. I'm not putting a number on it until I know which one it is. So now we're going to take Peace and we're going to turn it into a banner, and we'll put it on this one probably. And then the little Christmas guy that we shrank down, we'll put on this one. And then, I don't know, we still need something for this one. So we've got one more to figure out. So let's just start with Peace. And we can use Joy on another one. So all right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut straight into this, and then I'm going to cut from the corner to the top, and that makes a quick and easy tail. That's a quick and easy way to do a tail. Okay, so put that there. Go ahead and ink around it. Oh, Linda's. Oh, Linda, that's so funny. Linda said I couldn't get YouTube to open. Went to Google and Googled glitter goddesses. Don't do that. Don't do. That'll wake you up on a Saturday, huh? Make sure, guys, make sure safe search is turned on your computers. Oh no. You guys have been warned. Oh, Linda, it's too funny. Gosh. Oh my gosh. I think we might use that it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas on this guy somehow. I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts. All right, so I'm just going to stick this like a 1/2 inch up from the bottom. There we go. Beautimus. All right, so there's the first two. All right, so I'm gonna do this one last because the ink, when you print uncoated cardstock, the ink has to dry, guys. The more time you give it to dry, the just the better results you're gonna have. So, you know, give it time. Give it time. Poor Linda. Linda's been traumatized. Someone pass Linda the eye bleach. All right. All right, so I've got all these little guys now. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, so we're not wasting the words that we cut off of that other page. And I think what we'll do is we'll do something like this. And that'll be really cute right there. So that's... All right, you guys, it's happening. The pieces are coming together. They're coming together. All right, then I'm just running a line of tape on the back. And we're gonna put ink all these guys just so that they pop off a little bit better. Because we want them to stand off from that craft background as much as they can. Remember, as we go through this, to not overthink it. This is just supposed to be fun. Just try to, you know, jam as many elements together that look good as quickly as possible, because you have to leave so much empty space in this book because you don't know what pictures you're going to have. So you want to leave everything kind of generic enough that it'll work. What the? Oh. I like knocked it under the desk. All right. Beautiful. Hi, Ella. Welcome back. All right, so there's our third one. So now we'll finally do this guy. Gonna go cut this out. And then we'll go ahead and put, do you like Christmas at the bottom or Christmas at the top? I'm gonna scallop this burlap and then we'll put it at the top, and I think that's what it needs. It just needs a little scallop on the burlap. Ella says she can probably work on fall, Thanksgiving, and Christmas projects all year. Yeah, fall. The one thing that's kind of like a bummer about living in Florida is no fall. No fall. I mean, it exists, but it's not like, leaves don't really change color too much because there aren't as many. I mean, some do, but it's just not like the explosion of color that it is other places. But it's not hot, so it's always nice. So we enjoy fall, and sometimes it does get crispy enough that you got to wear like a light jacket. All right, that's what it needed. Look at that. Changes it completely. In Arizona, the leaves change from green to brown. Florida is pretty much green all year. We have an oak tree. I forget what it does. I can't remember if the oak tree, our front yard is an oak tree, which, by the way, guys, like, I mean, oak trees are freaking the worst. The worst. It made my allergies so bad this year. I was so mad at it. And it acorned everywhere. But oak trees are a pretty good choice for when you live in a place with hurricanes because their root system is fairly hurricane resistant. It's hard for them to be uprooted because of how their root system is. Of course, it's bad for the foundation of your house and your driveway and all of that, but then the tree won't fall like a maple would fall on, could easily fall on your house, on your roof or something like that. So oaks are good for places with hurricanes. And our friends who own a bed and breakfast in New Orleans, Hurricane Katrina finally took down their oak tree that was like hundreds of years old. It had survived who knows how many hurricanes, but Katrina was the end of it. What about the oak tree is it's the oak sperm. So it's it's what the male oak trees produce. 'Cause, that's what bothers, my allergies. And most decorative oak trees in neighborhoods are male because the males don't acorn. I guess ours is female because ours has acorns, but they apparently, most oak trees that are planted in neighborhoods for like beautification purposes are male. So, and then I guess the females have like a sticky sap on them. And then, so if you had an even mixture of males and females, the male powder would get stuck to the leaves and branches of the female ones. And so the pollen wouldn't be like all in the air crazy all the time, but because there aren't that many female ones, they're mostly males. Because people don't want to sweep up acorns is the reason why, I learned. So the pollen just hangs in the air, making people with allergies miserable. And I was just like, this is one of those things where humans make a decision about nature that they don't fully understand at the time they make it. And then it ends up causing so many problems down the road, So like, apparently the trend of only using male trees in landscaping started at the turn of the 20th century so that city street sweepers wouldn't have to sweep up seed pods because it's the females that produce the seeds and then it's the males that produce the pollen. So basically the sort of like landscapers all kind of collectively decided about 100 years ago that anytime a female tree died and had to be replaced, it would be replaced with a male tree. And so over the last 100 years, male trees have replaced female trees. And so we now have mostly male trees everywhere. And there is a theory that is why people's allergies are getting worse and worse, because the female trees not being there, there's no, the sap that would pull the pollen out of the air and stick it to the trees would keep allergies down. But because there are no females, that doesn't happen and the pollen just goes around causing havoc. And so, yeah, so, exactly, those darn males. What tree would be best for me? Well, I have like I said, we have a female oak tree, but it doesn't matter because I have to walk past 100 male oak trees on my walks. So when the oak trees were pollinating, I would literally wheeze and have to use a rescue inhaler anytime I walked outside. That's how bad it was. So because I'm allergic to deciduous trees, pretty much all kinds, really any trees that produce pollen are bad for me. Any pollinating trees are bad for me. Well, I don't want no trees, so I'm going to have to do some research. Maybe what I'll do is I'll find a landscaper and be like, I want you to put a protective ring of female trees around my yard, like a giant fence of trees, so that it stops, so that their sap stops the pollen from reaching my house. I feel like he's going to be like, oh, great. Another lunatic, weirdo Floridian with a strange request. Now, all that being said, my allergies are not nearly as bad in Florida as they were in Virginia. Because there's far more deciduous trees in Virginia than there are in Florida. Far, far more. And because I'm allergic to a bunch of other stuff that they have there, like goldenrod. And I want fruit trees, Donna. One of the things I want to get is, I want to start with a dwarf lemon plant and a dwarf lime tree. I saw a company that sells dwarf lemon and lime trees that you can grow in large pots, like on your patio, so that you can we can have them inside the screen to keep bugs away from them and whatever, and that way you have a more manageable amount of fruit. And I figured if I could keep those alive, then maybe I could be allowed to have trees like of the full size when we build our house. But I would like to have citrus and avocado trees. Those are what I would like to have, because I would love to be able to just, you know, have those available. That's exactly what I want, Donna. A huge, like a Meyer lemon in a huge pot. That's exactly what I want. And a peach tree would be nice too. We had peach trees in California. When we lived in California, we had peach trees in our yard, and a fig tree. And for some reason, I still love peaches, but I don't love figs anymore. So I don't know why. Okay, guys, so we've got all of our papers ready to go. So now we just need to figure out, you know, what looks good with what. So I think that looks cute with that one. And then this one, and then this one, and then this one is the way to go. All right, so now let's just get our numbers and make sure we're not going to have any color clashes with our numbers where we might need to rearrange our papers. And Kathryn, where did you put the numbers? Oh, here they are. Woo! All right. So it's 1.5, right, guys? Yeah. 9, 11, 13, and 15. Okay, and I'm gonna write 1.5-inch punch on this so I don't have to try and remember every time. Write yourself notes, guys. When you're crafting, write yourself notes. The more notes you write, the happier you'll be. Okay. So this would be 9, and we can just put it right there. That's perfectly fine. And then this is 11. Oof. 11. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll make this one 11. Should I put the 11 over that ornament? Or should I just randomly stick the 11 like right there? I think the 11's better there. So it's there. I'll let you guys vote. So this would be 1, and over the ornament here would be 2. So if you want to turn the 11 into an ornament, type a 2. And if you like the 11 off to the side because you think the ornament is cuter, type a wow. People are feeling very strongly about the 1s. Okay. All right, that's fine. All right, so we'll make this one 13. All right, we will. And 15. Oof. Okay, so we may have to, let's make this one 15, like make this one 13. And this one can be 15. Hey, hey, bud. Hi. You want to come up and say hi? You want to come up and say hi? Come on. Hi. Say hi, kitty. Hi, kitty. Sneeze, sneeze. Yeah. We got Kitty a Furminator, guys. And the first time Mr. Lifeguard Furminated Kitty, the pile of fur was so huge. I walked down, it was like I thought he shaved her. Like the pile of fur was bigger than she was. And I just was like, it was disgusting. It was disgusting, right, kitty? You have so much fur. You're so gross. Rawr. You want to look up? Here, let's see if I can get her to look up. Oh, nope, she doesn't want to look up. She wants to bite me. Nah. No biting. You know better than to bite. Kitties that try to bite don't get pets. All right, kitty. Here. Huh? Oh! Do you need to go on the floor? You're a bad kitty. No. Mm-mm. Oh, did you hurt yourself? Stop chewing my paper pick, my tape pick then. All right, so what I'm going to do, hi kitty, you're going to sit right on my, yeah, that's right. You always know what part of my desk I want to use. Yes, you do. You are the worst kitty ever. You're the worst kitty ever. Can you give me this? Can you give me this piece? No. No. I want it. Let me have it. Okay. All right. All right. So I'm going to take a Sharpie, a fine tip Sharpie, and I'm going to draw an ornament ball. So now the 15 is an ornament hanging from the S in Christmas. So that's pretty cute. And we're gonna keep on okay, 13. We've got 11 over here. Thank you, Jill. Jill says, this project is really cute. I think it's really cute too. Yeah, I mean, you really don't have to put anything on these pages if you want to. My intention is for you to throw your documentation, for the most part, into the bags and into the little pockets. You know, I mean, you can put little mini photos on these or stick little tickets to them or whatever. Of course, you can decorate on them if you want to, but you don't have to. They're just cute. They're just there to look cute. Oh yeah, that's a good idea too, Donna. You know, this collection would be really good for cards because it has so many cards in it. You know what I mean? Because you get so many elements in it, all those different card designs. But yeah, like this would make a cute card. This would make a cute card. This would make a cute card. I mean, so many of these would make very cute, simple little cards. One year, I'm going to get in gear enough to make Christmas cards. But this is not that year. I used to be good about that, but now I'm not. So it just is what it is. Okay. Time to attach our bags. Jill, we talked about that a little bit while you were gone. if you don't have your kids nearby or your grandkids nearby, how do you fill a December daily? And what I said I did the year that I did it, because there's just the two of us as well, is if there's a day where we didn't do anything interesting, what I'll do is I'll document something that's a Christmas memory that's not necessarily related to an activity. So like I'll take a picture of a favorite ornament that has a nice history, and I'll tell the story behind it. Or I'll like get the movie poster for a favorite Christmas movie and write about, you know, why I watch it every year, what I like about it. You know, you can talk about Christmas songs, all kinds of stuff that are your, like, put in a recipe that you like, maybe if you're not making it that year anyway. So these are all things that you can do to like fill in the gaps. Okay, so now we put 11 on the back of this one. Trying not to do anything upside down this time because I don't want to have to fix any mistakes this episode. Donna says people call me if they don't get a handmade Christmas card. All right, so that guy can go there. We can put it on. It's safe to put it on. So I'm going to run a line of tape along the tops of the spinal fin. And then tape along the two edges of the bag, and the two edges are the score where you're going to attach it to the bag. And then fold the foot up and on the other side of the foot. And there we go. Et voila! The bag is done. All right. And here we go. Butamus. All right. So okay, so now the next one is we'll put 13 down like so. 13. Okay. And then 15 on the back. And then this one can go in the book, and then we'll do our pockets and our 3x4 cards and our inserts, and that'll finish it off. Flip it open, fold the bottom up. Tape on the bottom of the bag. And then tape on the spine fin. And then into the book your bag goes. Doop, 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 doop. Okay. Into the book you go. Yay. All right. We made it. Guys, we made it. We got the bags in. Nothing is upside down or backwards or weird. So, good job. Now we just have to get through the inserts and the pockets and without doing anything radically stupid, and we'll have done a mistake-free episode of this. So, there's our pockets. 1, 2, 3, 4 inserts, and our 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 for the cards. Okay, so now we're going to use the cards. We're going to do the inserts. Same thing as before. We're going to pick 4 holiday cards that we like, that are horizontal. All right, so we've used up a lot of the ones that aren't just like plain. So what I'm going to do is we'll do 2 that are journaling spots, and then these 2 we'll decorate with some kind of elements. All right, so now we just have to find cards that go along with them. All right, so we've got all these guys, and And then I'm just going to look at these and see if there's anything I can cut out. This would be cute, but it's December 25th, and it's not December 25th yet. So, maybe not those. Let's see if there's anything over here we can cannibalize. I'm going to go ahead and I'll figure out a way to do that one. When I printed that page smaller, was there anything else on it? No. I just printed the one thing I needed. No, because I didn't want to take a long time trying to decide. But yeah, I could manipulate something like this into a 4x3. Do you want to see how I would do that, you guys? Is that something that's interesting? Maybe I'll do that really quickly. Jill's like, no, I'd rather be stabbed. I'll show you guys that really quickly. I'll show you that. All right. It's not the project you asked for, but it's the project you're getting. Okay. So I need to make a new blank file that's 4x3, 4 inches wide, 3 inches tall, 300 pixels per inch. And then I also need a blank file that's, 13 inches across by, in this case, 16 inches, because we have that scrap we're working with. And we're going to fit that on the screen. All right, now I also need to open the piece that has, I'm going to do a couple different things. What I'm going to do first is, you see that we have a lot of 4x6 cards. I'm going to blow your guys' mind a little bit here, I think. I want to show you how you can resize a bunch of things all at once in Photoshop Elements if you have Photoshop Elements. If you don't have Photoshop Elements, then you can't really do this. I mean, you can do it in regular Photoshop, but this is a feature of Photoshop that you might find useful. So here we have, this is the folder that has all of the cards in it, and you can see that there's a bunch of them that are 6x4, so they're 6 inches wide by 4 inches. That's all these right here. I'm gonna make a new folder in here, new folder that's I'm gonna call 4x3 cards. All right, and I just need an empty folder for this. And what you're going to do is you go to File, and you go to this thing that says Process Multiple Files. And what you want to do is you have to, wait, sorry, I skipped a step. I need back to, was I in Elements? Yes. Okay, I need to get the ones that I want to manipulate the size of. And I need to copy them into my little folder here. Because I don't want, I don't want to make any changes to the originals that I can't, that I don't pay attention to. Okay, so now they're all duplicated in this folder. And so now I'm gonna just gonna put them all in a folder in this folder. To keep them straight from each other. Okay. All right. So now I know where they are. So now I'm going to go into here and process multiple files. And I'm going to go and I'm going to browse. Okay. So this is 1200 by 900 pixels. We need to remember that. Okay. I'm going to go find the folder that they're all in. So they're in digital paper, simple stories, handmade holiday, elements, 4x3 cards, and they're in the 6x4 folder. And I'm going to say, put them when you're done processing them in the 4x3 folder. All right, now I have to give the size, what I say, 1200 by 900? Yeah, 1200 by 900. Okay, so I want them to be 1200 pixels across. At 300 DPI, 1200 pixels is going to be 4 inches. So what it's going to do is it's going to make them all 4 inches across. And I say, okay, and you're going to see them all briefly flash up on the screen. And Photoshop is resizing all of them to 4x3, so I don't have to. It's changing them all to 4x3 all at once. So when I go into that folder I made called 4x3 where I put them all, they'll all have been changed from 6x4 to 4x3. So I don't know if they're flashing so fast. So when I go now to open that folder, and I go in 4x3, all of those cards are there. I can open them all at once. And they're all 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4x3. So now what we do is I can just put these all on the 13 by 19. I don't have to resize anything, or I don't have to do any weird manipulations. I can just use these guys. And I have them all as 3x4 cards. So then just drag them onto your main printer page. Okay. You have to stretch them a little bit because it's not the same proportions exactly. I don't know if I like them stretched, but and I stick them right close to each other when I print them, so that I don't have to cut twice. I just cut once in between them. I don't have to cut twice all around them. And this is going to give me plenty of 4x3 cards so that I don't have to deal with constantly this problem that I've been having. Now, if I wanted to take more time, I could, whoops, I could mess with their aspect ratio so that they kept their same proportions and just cut off their edges and things like that. But I'm not going to, because I don't want to spend 5 million years on this. But batch processing can help you do things really quickly. So like, for example, if you wanted to make a bunch of 12 by 12 papers, all all 8 by 8, you could use that batch processing function to do that. So if you want to make changes to a lot of them, that's how I do it, is I just make changes to a bunch of them all at once. And then that way I don't have to sit there and change every single one, like shrink it. I can get half the work done for me already this way. And I'll just stop with, I'll just do one more. We'll just do It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year, because that'll fill in our scrap from earlier. So we're going to flatten this image and print it. And that's that. So now I have a bunch of 4x3 cards. So hopefully this will go a little bit more quickly. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do all my normal stuff, 13 by 19. I'm going to tell it the paper is 13 by 19. Because my printer prints from the top down, it won't matter if I don't tell it it's 13 by 16, because it's just not going to see anything on the bottom. Whether or not that will matter on your printer is one of those things where it's like, maybe I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to put this on a 13 by 19, just because my printer is getting confused. See, Photoshop is gonna be your biggest hurdle in the digital printing. I mean, it's the thing that's going to work. It's going to, you know, it's the tool, but like figuring out all its stupid little quirks is time consuming and annoying. But you get it eventually, you know. That's why I told you guys to get cheap paper to practice on. Once you've got it all figured out, then you can, You know, you won't have to like break your head every time. You're like, oh yeah, that's right. That's how it works. All right, let's go. Printer. All right, so now it's printing. Flatten means, so Donna said, what's flatten mean? In Photoshop, when you make a change to something in Photoshop, it makes something called a layer. This is probably the hardest, most annoying thing to get used to about Photoshop, honestly. And it is that when you do anything in Photoshop, you can't make changes to like the image itself. You have to create a new layer, and think of it as a layer of acetate over your thing. And then when you make a change, the change goes on the layer and it covers up whatever is underneath it. And flattening is, it takes all of the different layers and it flattens them until they're just one picture all kind of fused together. And then you print that. That's when you have an image, and then you print that thing. So when you're done making changes, you flatten it. You can print it without flattening it. It just takes longer because the printer has to figure out how to deal with the layers. So I find it's just better to just flatten it and then print it. Okay, so while that's going, we'll do these two. Go ahead and get these down. Layers is where, you know, Jill was thinking about getting into digital scrapbooking or printing photos. Maybe, I don't remember what it was that you wanted to do, but that's when, you know, when I was explaining making layers and how you had to make all your changes to layers and, you know, move layers forwards or backwards so that they would cover or wouldn't cover each other up and whatever. And that's when Jill was like, nope, that's it. Nope, don't care, never want to learn it. Thank you for trying to teach me, but I'm out. It was just too much. She was like, no way. Nope, 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 nope. She's like, whatever it was I was trying to do, I no longer want to do it and I don't care. So that was how it went. But yeah, guys, if you have Photoshop elements, definitely check out online tutorials for batch processing, because it can really help you out if you're getting into printing your own digital papers. You just have to remember that before you start changing any files, you want to, you know, make a copy of them somewhere so that you don't accidentally overwrite what you downloaded from the manufacturer, because you don't want to lose the originals, you know. Because I have made changes to the originals and then had to go download them because I wasn't paying attention. So I can tell you, you know, it's more of a hassle. Don't do it. And the printer's done, but I'm just going to leave it in the printer to dry while we ink and attach these two. And actually, I'll go ahead and tape and ink these two as well. When I first got Photoshop, layers was the biggest struggle. It's the thing that's the weirdest, you know, that you wouldn't be used to from any other kind of software program. But once you get layers figured out, then you can pretty much figure out anything else in Photoshop, because most things that you might want to do are done with some kind of a layer. So, you know, there's adjustment layers, change the color of photos and things like that. And, you know, when you want to add words to your photo, you do that with a text layer. And so everything is, that's the sort of just the language of Photoshop. And once you can wrap your mind around layers, then everything kind of makes sense in Photoshop and you can figure it out most things. Donna, we can be your lunch date, although we don't have any food. Ooh, I want shrimp. How can I get shrimp? I guess I could go to the grocery store and make shrimp, but that seems... Yeah, Grubhub. Get the Postmates people in here with some shrimp. We have a great sheet pan recipe that's like baby potatoes and asparagus and shrimp and lemon, and it's so yummy and easy. You like put the potatoes on first, and after they've been going for a while, you add the asparagus, and then after they've been going for a while, you add the shrimp and throw lemon on all of it. Yum, yum, yum. And toss everything in olive oil and garlic. Remember, of course, that you don't have to put 4x6 cards on these guys. You leave them blank and put photos on them. All right, so I'm gonna put these down, and then we'll go get the thing out of the printer and take a look at what we got from Stripe. stretching our cards. Let's see how we did. Again, with the cards, if I had wanted to take more time, I could have made sure that they looked good, but not going to worry about it right now. We just won't use any that look really super weird. All right, so we've got 2 completely done, and then we need to do these 2. So let's go see what we've got. All right, so they turned out just fine. Ah, look how many options we have now. Look how many options. All right. Jill, are you impressed enough to try it? Jill's like, I'm not that impressed. Oh, hell no. She's like, no. No. So what I'm doing as my first step is I'm trimming off all of the white and getting them into these strips of cards, and then I'll just cut the cards apart. And it's pretty quick once we get to the part where I'm just cutting the cards apart. Because I stuck them close together, since the reason I stuck them on top of each other like this is so I can only just cut right between them and then the cards separate. Whereas if I'd left white all the way around, I'd have to cut 4 times. This way it saves me a cut. Okay. Oh, one more. All right. So now we're just looking for something that would look cute with these guys. I'll just go with, I'll use this Dear Santa postcard on this one because it's like a list. You know, you send your list to Santa. All right, guys. It's happening. We're getting there. All right, so I'm going to ink these, and then, and also our 6 little journaling spots. And then we'll stick everything in, and then the inserts will be done. We'll just pick which envelopes they look best with, or which pages they look best with. And then we'll do the pockets, and then we'll have done another 4 days. And I'm just going to use the ATG to put these cards, these journaling spots in. Because they're inside the flaps, it's not as critical that they be, you know, glued right down to the edge, because they're not going to be sliding past anything. She didn't tell me which bank to rob. Don't worry, you guys. I'm not going to give this printer away. I'm going to give away... I want to give away a photo printer. I'm thinking about the Canon Selfie. I want to give a photo printer away for either Scrappy Bowl or Black Friday. I haven't decided which, but I want that to be the grand prize. But I just want to do like a 4x6 photo printer. Like nothing complicated, because I don't want to give people a chore, you know? But I want people to be able to put their 4x6s in their books as they're going, you know? So maybe I'll do that one for Black Friday. The selfie is the one I'm thinking about. Because I believe that if all you want to print is 4x6, I still think the selfie is the best bang for your buck for printing 4x6 photos. It's quick. It's easy. You can now send photos directly from your phone. It's been updated. Its software has been updated, so you can send photos directly to your phone, from your phone right to the selfie. So I still think if you, I just want to print 4x6 photos and get on with my life, that the selfie is the way to go. Deborah says she loves her selfie. I don't have a selfie because I want one for the ease of use, but I can't justify it when I have a perfectly good printer. Although I kind of want to get it. Like, I'm trying to think of a reason to get one, like a business related one. Deborah says I use mine with the Becky Higgins app. Does that let you make photo collages, Deborah? Like, can you put like 2 photos on one and print smaller and stuff like that? You got yours on QVC. By the way, guys, I found an app called Be Funky. Have any of you heard of Be Funky? It's a collage making app too. Oh, you can put up to 4 with the Becky Higgins app. Okay. So is it Project Life, or is it just Becky Higgins? Just Becky Higgins. Like, what do I look for? Maybe I should get a selfie to do a untried product demo. Both. Okay. then I could justify it. I could be like, well, I got this for that could be, but then I can't make fun of the We Are Memory Keepers punch board. And Be Funky lets you write on your photos too. This digital paper, Carol, is Simple Stories Handmade Holiday. Handmade Holiday. And I think it's less than $15 for all the pages, all the elements, like everything that you could want. You can write on the Becky Higgins app too. Okay, good. Okay, so I'm going to the Google Play Store. We'll find out what the Becky Higgins app is called, guys. I'm just going to type in Becky. It's called Project Life-Scrapbooking. Project Life-Scrapbooking. All right, install. Well, Jill says, I don't know which picture I want in which size until I'm doing the project. That's why I want a selfie. Oops, I didn't mean to click that. That's why I want a selfie, because that way when you're like, okay, well, I want to use this photo here, but it's too big or whatever. And then you can just... So this is Be Funky. And you can make photo collages. And you can make the photos 2 different sizes, stuff like that, you know. And they have all kinds of combinations. And it's, I think, meant so that you can post collages on Instagram so you don't annoy everyone by posting like 9 photos of the same thing. But you can also put like fonts and stuff. And then you just say what you want, you know, so... I'm just picking 3 random photos. And then you pick your 3 photos, and then you can move them around. Like, you can say which ones you want. All right, so this is the Be Funky one, and then you save it. And then once it's saved, you can just save it to your gallery on your phone. And once it's in your gallery, then you can print from your selfie. But now we can look at the Becky Higgins one because it downloaded. I like this. This show is like, yeah, I'm gonna make these pages like probably before I die, but we keep getting totally distracted. We have accomplished very little today. Hello, fellow glitterati. I love it, Monica. I love it. Hello, glitterati. Okay, so Deborah's saying that the Becky Higgins app works the same way. If the Becky Higgins app is, I don't know, crashing on my phone or what? Oh, I have to click things. Okay, so these are choices. Okay, so... Oh, I see. So now I pick what I want. So I, like, here's 4x6. This one's 4x6. This one's 4x6. Or this one's 4x6. Okay. And then I add the photos. This one's a little easier. What digital paper? I'm using Simple Stories Handmade Holiday. I'm using Simple Stories Handmade Holiday. That's the one I'm using. And then you can kind of move it around to center it. Okay. And then I can write on it. Yep, and then I can write on it. Now, if I want to write on it, I think it's going to cost me money. Right. So if I want to write on it, I'm going to have to buy the ability to write on it. And it looks like it's a one-time $2.99. So this is what you'll watch out for with the Becky Higgins one, because it is in-app purchases. Be Funky is the same thing. Be Funky, there's like stuff you can do for free and then stuff that costs money. So, okay. All right, guys. So there we go. Words are hard. Words are hard. Words are hard. So that's a good companion for a Canon selfie, so that you can put a bunch of things. I think the Becky Higgins one is easier if the goal is to use it with a Canon selfie. Because on the Becky Higgins one, just pick one of the 4x6 layouts, throw your photos on there, and you can just print the photos. And as long as you don't want to add text or whatever, it seems like it's totally free. So I'm thinking that's probably the one to go with, because Be Funky is for Instagram, so it's square. Now, I don't mind it's a square, because, you know, I do put square photo spaces in books because of the popularity of Instagram now. But there we go. Okay, so now we've got our inserts done. We're gonna place them where they need to go. All right, so now we've got our inserts in. Okay, and now we just have to do our bags and cards. All right. All right. Okay, so Millie says that she has a selfie and her daughter bought her the Epson PictureMate and she uses a PictureMate more. Are there more options with the PictureMate, or do you just like the photos better, or what do you think it is that you like, that makes you like the PictureMate more? Maybe I need to research again. Maybe I need to research again. All right. I would believe that the qualities on the PictureMate is better. I mean, I've owned an Epson photo printer and a Canon photo printer, and I do think that overall, I think Epson quality is a little bit better. Oh, the selfie's not a true 4x6, and the Epson PictureMate is. Oh my gosh. Guys, I don't know. Maybe you're not getting, maybe we're not giving away, maybe we're not giving away a selfie. Maybe we'll give away a PictureMate. Because not being true 4x6 could be a real problem for me. That might give... So now am I going to have to do research again? You've gotten booted, Donna. No! Why are you getting booted? Are you using the Chrome browser? I find that Google products work best in the Chrome browser, you know, and YouTube is a Google product. Okay, so 2 3/4 by 4 1/2. 2 3/4 by 4 1/2. So we need 2 pieces of paper that are 2 3/4 by 4 1/2. I don't like Chrome either. I like Firefox better. But I use Chrome for the chat for when I do this show. Because I found it just works a little bit better. 2 3/4 by 4 1/2. 2 3/4 by 4 1/2. 2 3/4 by 4 1/2. I'm just going to use a little bit of dictionary paper I have kicking around. Okay. So we'll stick those down and then we'll decorate our pockets after we get these guys all stuck down. Oh, and we need little scraps to go on the back. We need to get our little tiny scrap bag. Okay. And then for the scrap bag, those scraps go on the back of these pieces. So they just have to be long enough to go all the way across. I may be running... Man, guys, I think I've used up all of my baby scraps that are long enough to go across. Yeah, I've used up all my tiny scraps. All right, well, I'm going to make that one stretch, and then we'll just do that. Talk about being efficient. We're even out of scraps. We're out of scraps, guys. Okay, so I just put a line of tape at the top of these. And I'm just gonna fill in this little gap here. Make a little Franken paper. Oops. You can also print 5x7 on the Epson. Ooh, so if you want to do a little bit of an enlargement, you can. That's kind of nice too. Is there a big price difference? All right, so see, it looks totally fine. So we Franken papered it, and it was totally fine. All right, where's the scrap for you? Oh, here it is. Cut that off. Okay. So now we're gonna put these on. My decorative paper is very thin. It's like 30 pound. So it is very thin. Yep. I've actually been liking it because it's not bulking up the album. It's not adding a lot of, you know, thickness to it. And it was cheap. This is coated presentation paper. And it was it was like 25 bucks for a box of 100, which is like less than half the price of Epson when it's on sale. So it's by a brand called Koala. So if you're printing your paper at home, I did a whole big epic post all about printer paper. But this paper, if you're going to print the entire collection at home, it's been fine for me. It's been totally fine for me. And it comes in 2 thicknesses and double-sided in the 13 by 19 size. So it comes in double-sided 100 pound, super, super thick. Oh, so the Epson's like twice the price of the Canon. Thank you, Millie. But, I mean, over the long run, spending a little bit more can, you know, is... You know, if it's going to give you true 4x6, if it's going to let you print 5x7, you know, that extra 100 bucks over the course of the lifetime of owning the printer in terms of like added benefit, you know, that's something to consider. All right. So what I my kind of was thinking with the Koala paper is I'm going to save the really heavy stuff for like if I want to print double-sided for like a tag or a folder or something. And then anything I'm going to use for matting, where it's going to be stuck down, I can use the thinner stuff and save some bucks. Save some buckaroons. And it saves weight too. Saves weight because it doesn't, it's not, because it's so thin, you know. You bought a snowblower today? Mr. Lifeguard and I were talking about, we have a snowblower, and I'm like, we should have sold this in Virginia. Now what are we going to do with it? Well, Donna, it's funny because I do really like thick paper. I just love the way it feels in your hands. And I, you know, there's something about just like new paper smell. All right, we're going to put this Noel down right here. So I'm going to put tape. When I put tape on this, I put tape just from the paper down on the two sides and then on the bottom, and then I'll run the tape along the edge of the thing there, so that way I know I won't have any tape showing. If I put tape all the way around on the back here, you know, then it would be messed up. I don't want to have any tape showing over the top or peekabooing over the top. All right, so now we've got that Noel there. And now we're going to do the same thing on this side. And then run the tape across the top of this one. Tape on the back, on the three sides, but not on the top. And now we'll stick this down. And Stick that down and burnish. Okay, so now those are done and we just need to do our pockets. So guys, we're in pretty good shape actually. So I'm going to go ahead and close up the pockets. And somewhere in these, oh, this is a template. Okay, so I actually have to make another pocket. All right. I have to make pockets, guys. So let me make, so 6 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches is the size of the paper. Alrighty. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a recording break here so that making the flap pocket sort of starts on its own thing so I can label that one. I'll be right back. So thanks so much for watching, guys who are watching the recording. Hope you're enjoying Christmas in August, and I'll see you in the next video.